Hey, Chad.
Hey, I'm not late. I thought I was late.
Well, you are late, but you're not the latest.
One of the first things.
There's Andy.
Oh,
Here he comes, baby.
Hello, guys.
hey.
Hey, man.
I get so worried when that third tardy bell rings and all my students.
No, I was worried about you guys. I was worried about you three.
Yeah.
So I was spinning and thinking, shit, something bad happened. All three of like, there's a hit on the squad.
Not once did you think it might be you.
It was lonely in last week's detention room.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, it was occurring to me. That's why I sent messages. But I've been out here going, fuck, man. All right, we're all here, counted for.
Yeah, what's going on?
Fucking.
It's hot as fuck here in Austin, Texas. I can tell you that.
Oh, let me check the temp here. I had the guy who delivered the rock today was like, "Oh, it's hot here." I'm like, "Hot in Bisbee? Like hotter than the surrounding area?" I couldn't believe it, but he claimed that Douglas was cooler on a rock quarry than it was in bucolic Warren. You know, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It was the
97.
record was set in Death Valley for the highest overnight low was 120.
That's what it got down to?
Yeah. So it cooled down to, that's at Furnace Creek. That's
the
extreme measuring spot, but still had to be pretty hard to get to sleep at Panamint.
So it's 83 in here right now. So I'll tell you what, it was nice. I was looking forward to coming back from Tennessee where it was not so hot. Just because I wanted to get out of the humidity. I was like, I want to go back to Arizona where it's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a certain extreme heat with that kind of fucking Nashville or in Memphis. Fucking Memphis.
Yeah. I wake up in the morning, Andy, and go outside at like 7 to go smoke my joint. And as soon as I'd walk outside, just pouring sweat, just soaked with sweat. Be done smoking my joint and go inside and just stink, gross.
Another reason not to smoke.
Well, yeah.
Did you go down? You probably didn't go to Beale Street, or was that where shit was?
We did.
Okay, yeah.
we ate barbecue on Beale, dude. Right there.
Yeah.
That's a half rack.
That looks pretty delicious.
It was pretty fantastic.
Nice.
So, I have a whole thing on Beale Street. We can start. Chad, if you want to tell that story.
Oh,
does everybody know why you guys were in Memphis? Probably, right?
Nazis.
Do you guys? Because we'd just be
not entirely. I think, my interpretation is it's a fringe right wing kind of just from the other speakers.
The Freedom Fest Libertarian Convention was really just a way to pay for this staying in a pyramid.
Yeah, libertarians are just a gateway.
Yeah,
like I went to some was when Erickson, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he was the front runner for the Libertarian Party, and me and Doug was in Denver, I think. We went to a potluck. It was like, I didn't see kids with guns, but I'm sure they were around. But it was just like kind of it's a real potluck of fucking different groups and ideas.
I definitely saw some crossover there. Like I saw some haircuts that were probably at that tiki torch.
Yeah.
I recognize your khakis.
So. Yeah.
You still smell like citronella.
Yeah. I think Chaille's gonna tell. I told this one on the other podcast that Chaille just worked really hard on that went out. But we're on Beale Street. Andy will appreciate this. I'm looking for a place to smoke weed, Andy, and I found out when I get there. I thought it was legal it's not really legal there. Medicinally, it's legal, but that's about it.
There's
And,
no place to buy like recreational and medicinal weed was like, what'd you say, Chad, like 50 miles away
yeah,
to the clearest nearest dispensary if you had a medical Andy.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
so we're walking down Beale Street. We get all the way to the other end from where we started, and there was like a little spot to smoke. There's nobody really in this corner, and Chaille's like, man, right here. And I was like, that looks good. There was a cop car parked down on the end, but like an empty cop car, you know, for looks. So we
It was one of those ones that they park in a conspicuous area and you pump the brakes when you hit the corner and you go, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh,
And then you
yeah.
go, fuck, I'm never speeding again.
you know, so people don't smoke weed at the end of the street, probably, you know, they park them there. So I fucking light up this joint, and no, I'm the only one smoking weed on this trip, so I have to smoke these joints all by myself, Andy. So it takes me a while. Smoke this joint the whole time down there. At the end of it, I go and I notice, oh, I was smoking weed under a big police sign the whole time. So I tell Jenny, I'm gonna go stand under that police sign, get a picture of me smoking weed under that police sign. I go lean up underneath it to hit the joint. A fucking cop steps out of the cop car, walks over
There's two
there.
on-duty uniformed police officers in that vehicle, and that's Tracy and Doug were standing in front of these bullards to try and like
Distract
be
him.
goofy because they realized Chad was smoking weed in clear sight of two uniformed cops.
I'm like 50, 75 feet away from these cops. As soon it wasn't until I started posing for the picture under the police sign that the cop finally walked out and just gave me a dirty look like, are you fucking done, asshole? So the only picture that Jenny got is of my mouth just dropping open while I crush out the joint going, oh fuck.
And here's the picture of Doug mocking show to try and get the cops not to look at Chad. And Chad is right over here standing with Jenny.
Oh, I can see him.
Yeah.
Nice.
It makes you feel like you're a kid again to be worried about getting busted for weed.
Man.
It's
It's so ridiculous, state by state, and you know, in 4 years it won't even fucking matter. But
yeah.
Tennessee is the bottom 3 of weed friendly states. I read.
They like their fentanyl.
And maybe when that dries up,
They definitely like their oxys and shit, but yeah, they make a moral stand when it comes to the marijuana. What a bunch of fucking cunts. The whole
So you're at Freedom Fest.
yeah.
And you can't smoke weed.
Yeah, I was loudly complaining about that at Freedom Fest. I was like, ain't this some shit? Freedom Fest and not one marijuana legalization fucking booth. All these crypto coin booths and not one marijuana booth.
They've lost their way it's not, you know, it's just the libertarians now. You got
it's a land grab kind of thing where they've got people selling you on the idea of, hey, get this, guys, gold's a new thing. And hey, invest in American oil. Really? I think there's avenues for both of those right now. And like streamlined avenues. I mean, it is I don't care where there's a convention, there's carpetbaggers every fucking where you go.
It's just whatever. It's like a grocery store. It's who buys the shelf space is what they. I mean, they should be all about the weed because that strengthens their whole stupid thing a little bit. But they're guns and they're a mixed bag.
There wasn't Chad. There was nothing, right? Not one thing. I think a guy had a flag with a pot leaf on it, but he wasn't.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was, but it wasn't.
He was just like selling flags.
It was a bunch of stuff like that, flags and pens, and it's like, oh, this one, maybe this is like. There was no one in the booth, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Chaille. Whenever Stanhope went to go like check into the lady at the front where he was doing the show,
where you register.
Yeah, And no, it was whenever he went to do his show that night.
Oh, yeah.
And the lady was like, "Oh," she was like, "We've been looking for you at your booth, but I guess you didn't need it." Like all snarky. I was like, "Oh shit, she's been looking for us at his booth." I was hoping you were there to be like, "Yeah, well, there wasn't enough seats."
Yeah, they wanted I think $170 for each additional chair to the 2 chairs that they had in the booth. There's just a 6-foot table and a drape around it, and it's like a 10 by 10 booth. And I was disgusted by everything that was going on there. Anyways, that didn't make much sense to hang out.
Freedom,
there.
man.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Nobody wants to clean up around freedom.
There's no money in it.
No, man, they're trying
Zero.
grifting, but nobody will fucking lift a finger to clean anything. I'm talking
how
about
was
Memphis.
I guess we could have podcasted from there, but
You
if Doug's
mentioned
not
it
into
one
it.
time. Yeah.
Doug wasn't into it, so I'm not gonna push the point.
I was grateful that we didn't really hang out there that much.
Yeah.
We went in and I was like, "Oh wait, there's some black people here," and then I realized they were the bartenders.
Yeah, well, I haven't partied with a big group of Republicans, so I can't say this for sure, but I've been around libertarians. Nothing about them makes you want to hang out. Go, hey, where are you guys after partying?
This
I wanna
it was
hear
funny
more.
it was funny though, the emails that they would send us every day. It was like Flavor Flav wrote the email, like everything was hyped up. "We're gonna be doing this and it's gonna be fantastic." And it's like,
Boy.
I don't think anything is gonna be like what
Yeah.
this email sounds like.
And none of it, yeah, it's like all those patriotic gatherings and shit. They're like all these speakers and it's exciting, it's like they're all fucking, none of them are even open mic level interesting or humorous. And it's this big festival and go from one, it'd be like going to Edinburgh if open micers could, do their shows. One to the next. It's like, oh, that was disappointing. But this next one, Don Jr. seemed a little off his game. I think he was just too high to hit most of his bullet points. And Mr. Pillow is kind of down tonight, but he's facing a lot of trouble.
Mr. Pillow, did you read the he's selling off a lot of equipment, production equipment?
Yeah, you could get
fire sale.
You could get like a pallet of pillows for $70 on eBay. He claimed,
I've said this before. I have 2 of those pillows. My mom died on one.
Oh man!
And then
Mr. Pillow killed your mom.
Well, I don't want to. It might have been the filling, but
he didn't make it easier.
I like the pillows. I do like the pillows. I don't like the guy, and I bought one because the one my mom died on had a lot of sweat on it. But it is a good pillow. It's just this fucker just got in his own way so much that now he's like selling stuff pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, he's like that pizza guy. Couldn't keep his fucking yap shut.
Oh yeah. The guy with the
NFL
the
commercials.
jeans.
Yeah, Papa John doing
Papa
commercials
John's
and shit. And then it's like I gotta let loose with a little of the fucking a little too much political theory or I think it was outright racism.
Dropped a couple N-bombs in it.
I didn't say the N-word. I was telling you a story of a guy who used the N-word repeatedly.
Yeah, so now I guess
I was just throwing out new pizza topping ideas.
Now he's got to grit his teeth through every Shack Papa John's commercial.
Oh man, I don't think.
Not only did they pick one, they picked the biggest one.
They should do one more Papa John with Papa John and Charles Barkley, where Barkley just comes in and
throws him through a plate glass window.
Yeah, Barkley's the transition guy. You want to get the stain of sex abuse off of your franchise? Bring in Barkley. And Barkley would have some good views on Papa John's. But yeah, I mean, what a tool. He's hanging out with athletes and shit, and then he's got to, okay, man, just get, your face is all tight. We already think you're a fucking weirdo.
I just can tell you, it's ridiculously easy to not say the N-word. It's so easy to do. It's just easy. It's
Erickson, if I can try to relate this to other people, but in radio, it's very easy not to say fuck.
Right.
because there's a mic in your face and you're worried because you're keyed up. It's like not cussing, meeting your parent, your to be in-laws. You know, it is one of those things that when it's like these guys just buy their own bullshit for so long.
Yeah, but with this, it's even worse because fuck is a word we use all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if I said the N-word to Carrie Mitchell in the privacy of our home, I would,
while making love with blackface.
well, I make her call me. She says it when we're making.
She's allowed.
He can use it as long as somebody's in blackface. I think it's all right.
It doesn't come out of my mouth easily. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got to really. If there's not a 1,000 roadblocks in your brain before that.
Yeah, it's like
over
it's
your
like Jared of Subway sitting there on the sidelines with some lady talking about how he'd like to pork some of the middle schoolers. It's like, whoa, you can make conversations about sandwiches, the weather.
Yeah, there's so many toppings you can
so many
discuss.
other things to talk about.
Yeah, health or whatever. You could just fucking anything else. But boy, those fucking girls are like fresh like baked bread, huh?
You smell that?
Steam coming off them.
There should be a show about fucking CEOs for the fuck up, or well, he wasn't a CEO, but people in high positions like
a spokesperson for a brand. Yeah,
like Mr. Pillow. I've never known. I've had a lot of pillows in my day. I don't know one of them who the CEO of one of the companies was.
That's the thing. He was so like he was right there. You could overlook the glaring Christian cross and the kind of veiled Christian messaging in his stuff, but it's like you fucked up so bad. You were a fucking drug addict, loser who like talk about bootstraps. He should have been speaking at Freedom Fest.
He's got the same sort of energy as Sam Tripoli. Now, Sam Tripoli is one of the greatest guys I know. I love him, and he's really funny, and he's fucking awesome. But he's a conspiracy theory fucking maniac and a former cokehead. So it's like that same addiction, the same sort of characteristics in the addiction are feed into it. You know, like you can watch Mr. Pillow rant about fucking election fraud and have a stack of papers and he'll start ranting about the data and you're just you are like a fucking 8-ball deep right now. And, you know, Sam's the same way, but they're clean.
Yeah, Sam accepted Christ. It could be trouble. But that's
for Christ.
It's like, oh yeah, Mr. Pillow, or I know it's whatever Pillow Sham guy or whatever, but he comes out and he says he's gonna do this and he's gonna make all this. Doesn't he ever want to come out and just say, look, man, that last I fucked up, you know? None of that shit's a lot of the shit I've said before hasn't worked out. To try to sell maybe one more, but it's like I don't his opinion or his sound bites or whatever, it's just whatever, man. He doesn't even, you know, he seeks out microphones to fucking to announce shit that he can.
Well, I mean, how many times could you go on national TV and say on Tuesday we will have all the information? You were going to be blown away by the dump of info that we're going to lay out on Tuesday, and nothing.
Or does he keep
another one comes out and keeps doing it over and over again? How is that not clicking in his head?
But imagine if you found an audience that kept believing you
exactly
over and over again, no matter what. I mean, I fucking might still do that shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, his problem is his grifting or his political involvement has cost him all his company and shit. And I mean, he could be an outrageous douchebag, but he just fucking loves to get on TV and
that ego.
You get all coked up and shit, and you think, all right, man, which cameras? Where's my cameras?
Camera three is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's time for him to come out and say that. I think he did come out with a couple of desperation products like slippers. Or
he was doing what was he doing? He was doing sheet sets and towels.
He was just buying. He was just getting other. I mean, I think
they're all made in China.
Don't you think he's like an easy mark now? It's like I'd call him if I had his number and say, dude, somebody just gave me a bunch of fucking votes that were thrown away. That were
Boats. My Pillow boats.
Yeah. I need you to wire me some money, and then we'll meet up and I'll give you all these votes that were thrown away by the Joe Biden Democrats. You go, okay, man.
I did too.
Let me just hit the pipe one more time before I roll out.
I don't think. I mean, he's still, any celebrity net worth. I don't really know how the metrics they gauge it on. A lot of it could be, on paper, but it still says that he's worth about $174 million.
Wow.
So
what's Mr.
That's a lot of pillows, man.
I know. Phil Swift is I think of Phil Swift is he's like a man's man. I don't know if Phil Swift is a Nazi.
Is he the
Nike CEO?
Is he the guy?
Phil, I'm thinking of what's his name? The guy with the fucking Flex Seal. Just like a
Billy Mays?
No,
Flex that guy's
dead.
Flex Seal's
Flex Seal.
Yeah, that dude. He's like a guy with probably hairy knuckles. Shit, he's kind of like he's just like a Mr. Fix-It dude or whatever.
He's like the new Billy Mays.
Yeah. Well, Billy Mays was a colorful personality, whereas Phil Swift. He's the dude who was like fucking paints the bottom of a boat with his product and then goes out fishing in it. Yeah, look at him. I don't know what his politics are, and that's because he's.
That's the way you do it. That's how you keep $174 million.
Yeah, I hope he probably got a bunch of bitches and a couple of fucking ships and cruises around in them.
I think these guys I think they get a piece of the action because he takes a part of it. It's like in Shark Tank when the blonde girl, she's a QVC queen. So when she gets something, she pushes it hard because she knows she's getting, a piece of everything every single one of those Scrub Buddy stupid sponges. She's got, dollars from it. So it's crazy. And so he does too, because there's everything now. He's kind of everything he had before that was just regular stuff now has flex on it.
Yeah, he's like he does his whole ad is like a magic show of sorts.
Yeah,
I just saw one where he's in a house that gets flooded.
Yeah,
it's all Flex sealed out, and it's like real simple. That's probably why it sticks in my head, and I feel like I need some of that product sitting around on my shelf.
Magic.
So what do you think, Chad?
I hate that tape.
Hey, Chad, do you think that would have saved your grandparents' place if you would have Flex sealed it up to about 4 feet?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It would have washed away. The product would have washed away.
It's the mud and it's the fucking mildew that ruins these homes, man.
Yeah.
Well, it does a number of he's the Bryan Adams of home improvement products.
Here we go again.
That tape ends up sticky on both sides when you unroll it.
Yeah.
It's sticky on the back part too because it's
double-sided.
It's so sticky. It ends up being double-sided. But if you don't want double-sided,
it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want it that way.
It's been a fun episode so far, you guys.
This is like when we should ask for hey man, if you can help support our podcast, get on the Patreon. Because we do it at the end, and then it's like sometimes people go in and eat a bunch of buffet, and then they'll take off before the bill drops. I think that's what happens. We go at the end of our episode. People are like, "Oh, I'm full," and it's like when the collection plate comes out at church or whatever. It's like some people got to go to the bathroom right before it comes around.
You don't want to get in the parking lot when everybody's leaving, man.
You got to get out of there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, there you go. That's it.
Hey guys, I'm glad he brought up Bryan Adams because he was in the news. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Really?
He beat up John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah, in a grudge match.
Crazy, right?
It was some sort of rival.
Let me
Shit,
let me pull it. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see here.
He's out touring. He's out rocking the midways, or I mean, he's doing
The fair circuit.
fair. Well, no, I think he's doing his own. He ain't doing stadiums no more, probably.
Probably.
It's pretty good.
Wait.
Nice.
Nailed it.
What a pro.
Yeah. I
Hey,
have
check
to
this
say,
guy. Check this guy out. He jumped up on stage, which is becoming more and more topical in the news.
Fucking John Mayer jumped out and did a number.
thought it was Jim Brewer at first.
Yeah. You know who would have handled that differently? John Cougar. I don't think John Cougar would let the mic go. Let
Fuck
somebody
no,
John Cougar
man.
looks
say
like a guy who's
rumble
got
and
a knife.
stumbling, and then walk away. I think John
Cougar would have
Cougar.
fucking kicked him before he got up there, man. He never would have made it. You don't
I
take a
love
name
it
like
that-
Johnny Cougar unless you're you got a badass streak in you.
That
Yeah.
so the beginning of that song, I guess, was just the chunk, like chunking away. So that when that guy got up there, he actually started before
At
they
the
were
right-
going to start, and he
Yeah.
actually Brian Adams kept it in time
It was on
with the way that guy, because he got the second line of the first verse in.
right.
Yeah. And if he was
Fucking
working
roll
the
with
fair
it.
circuit, that would have been a fight too. Just because you wouldn't want to put up with shit at a fair. Yeah. When you're back down playing the fair, you're trying to prove yourself again. I think kind of some of them do.
Well, that was in
Either
Salt
that
Lake
or you-
City.
Either that or you just fucking walk.
Yeah. Like I
You're
saw.
like, well, that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we've definitely dealt with worse in our little world.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Like,
it's like,
here, you sell
do I
crack.
need to do this?
Yeah. I don't try to sell crack. Well, anyway, here you have the microphone.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't.
Fucking crackhead took the mic from me and I readily gave it up.
wish
Here,
I could
fucking
sell
knock
merch
yourself
like
out, dude.
crack.
We're doing a show for 4 people in a fucking crack bar and
Got kicked out of your
Madison,
hotel room
Wisconsin.
for not smoking.
I wish
Books-
that bar was a TV show. 'Cause I would watch that. The bartender had a baseball bat that just, probably gets used quite a bit, not for softball, but just for running. He ran people off, but then like he had an alliance.
yeah.
It's like the
It's like-
dude who was selling rock was out of line because he didn't ask the bartender. This bartender had his crack guy, so that's we got caught up in a
Well,
comedy.
there's a chain of
comedy and
command
a crack
in a
show.
bar.
If that was a TV show, picture Cheers mixed with The Wire.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, little known fact, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a good one, Normie.
I tell you, they were just in your town. I just watched a thing with the senior they just did South by Southwest, a few of the Cheers guys.
Oh, really?
What were they
Norm,
doing? A stage show or something?
just interviews with the creators of the show.
Oh,
It was a panel of 6 with 3 of the writer, creator, and then it was Norm, Cliff, and Ted Danson. It was all
oh,
right.
we got
man.
Ted, Mr. Consumer Cellular.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten old, man. It's definitely Rathlenberger.
Ratzenberger.
Ratsburger.
He's bigger, like he was bigger than
The
Norm. And he sort of sounded like his voice kind of comes across. It sounds like Norm more, and Norm sounded like somebody else. But yeah,
They should do a reunion and they should switch
I know.
roles.
Well, yeah, that was they discussed that how Cliffy came in and did an audition, and it was for the Norm part because they wanted George Wendt, but they wasn't sure because he had another commitment. Anyway, so they just had auditions as kind of a placeholder in case Norm fell out, and Cliffy created that character. I mean, he came up with that in front of them as just kind of a know-it-all character, and they're like, yeah. So he created that character by a failed audition.
Damn.
Good for
And he
him.
wasn't good at auditions, so it's just like his weird, natural, nervous, whatever. And his lifetime of knowing bullshit
yeah.
like that was
Well, you know,
kinda,
the audition goes back to ancient Roman times.
yeah, like that was kind of his field of interest as a kid, was reading the encyclopedia, and so he was a little known fat guy.
Fuck.
Yeah, there's not enough of that little known fat kind of shit anymore. Now it's everybody's too hostile. You get
Well, I
in a
used to
disagreement.
follow Fact on
Right.
Twitter, but now my Twitter feed's filled with nothing but fucking right wing crazy.
Yeah, my Twitter's got cancer. Or it's like when
Inoperable.
when I had cancer, I felt it, and that's what when I go through Twitter, it's
Yeah.
sort of a reminder of what that was like last year.
Yeesh.
But hey, your boss is he's doing what he can.
Hey man, you gotta let him cook, baby. You gotta let him cook.
He's got one job, and that's to prepare to fight Zucker for some sort of prize.
He's
Cage
gonna
match.
beat the living dog shit out of Zuckerberg.
You
I don't
think?
know, man.
Yeah,
Zucker
man.
I've
looked
seen
pretty
those Gracie's
Elon's
fight.
my
They
guy, man.
small
Kidding
dudes,
me?
man.
You
Yeah,
walk through the plant today. You think I'm gonna fucking back that fucking Zuck? No way, dude.
That's true.
Zuckerberg's got more fucking angles than that new truck. Talking washboard, chiseled.
You better watch it when you start talking about that truck now, son.
Were you in that? You must have been in the group shot that made the internet the other
No,
day.
I was working.
Oh, you were working. So that
Wait, weren't they all working too?
Well, I mean, you see how hard they were working right there.
so honestly, does it look like as diverse around you as that picture?
Yes.
Oh, I thought maybe
Tesla is.
I
Tesla
thought maybe
is-
you were working and all the people with darker pigmentation were maybe out for the
there's-
photo.
dude, there's
Bring your cousin to work.
multiple
photo day.
languages being spoken there. There's all kinds of people there, man.
I
There's
did.
people-
I did blow this photo up on my computer screen to
See if I
search
was in
for
it.
Brett Erickson's
Where's Waldo?
mug in there somewhere, and I
No,
realized
I
Yeah.
wasn't even-
there'd be no way. I'd be bad at a forensic science thing.
they're up on the second floor, and I'm down on the at the docks.
So can
Yeah.
you confirm this? I heard this on the internet that there's a basement of that place where the elites mine children for endochrome. Is that what they call that? siphon the-
Adrenochrome,
And they
and
siphon it off of babies, and that's what fuels this new future truck.
Cybertruck's running on baby adrenaline.
Yeah.
Hey,
That'd
you
be
know,
cool.
my guy comes up with some good ideas. This guy
Hey,
gets
man, yeah.
Just
That's
from
the
a
most
from a
rid-
business standpoint, that doesn't really scale.
That's one of the most
mean, you think-
ridiculous
you-
things I've ever heard.
You think oil?
What, a basement in our factory?
No, that they're gonna siphon it out of a baby. You put it in a Jack LaLanne juicer.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're gonna leave some of the good bits if you don't
Yeah.
fucking mash it in.
That's wasteful.
We should all start siphoning babies if it'll get rid of the climate problem. Hey ho, if they burn a little more efficiently.
Well, I think that'd be it. Yeah, you eliminate
If
some
you
of
could-
the. some
If
of
you
the
could buy
people.
a dead, freshly dead fetus, you get it like real, like 8 months where you have to actually pull them out and choke them or something, and then you put that into your
So you
car.
want only viable fetuses for your plan.
Viable fetus, and then you put that in your car. If your car could run on that for 6 months per baby, and it would burn clean, So you'd have to go, well, which is leaving more of a carbon footprint? Obviously, if I don't use the baby's going to grow up and create a big fucking.
That's like that fucking stupid movie. What was it called? Fucking, they made it into a TV show. Snowpiercer. Anybody
What is
see
it?
that fucking movie Snowpiercer?
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god, I tried watching that.
Oh my God.
It was like that.
Punching myself in the face. Yeah, there's a train that travels around the earth at like 300 miles an hour because the earth is a wasteland. It's frozen. And everyone that's left on earth is on this giant train. And the farther you go up in the train, the higher better class of people you're with. Like it's, like all the shitty people are in the back, and they're always fighting, trying to get up to the front of the train. And then
Kind of
there's
like the
one guy who's,
platform movie.
yeah, there's one guy who's like the leader, he's the train conductor or engineer or whatever. And then, spoiler alert,
Don't worry.
they take little kids, and then there's some it never made any sense, but there's some sort of weird part of the engine that basically requires a child to be in there.
Holy
Like,
shit,
not
it's just
in
like
there,
that.
like pulling some lever and doing this thing, and they have to do it over and over and over again.
They're the only ones who can get their little tiny.
I guess
hands in
I
there.
never really understood it, but then you come to find out that the guy who's the engineer was a kid on the train at one. He did that, and he worked his way all the way. It's fucking dumb.
Well, they hire from within, like Tesla.
Well, they have to. They're the only
Promote.
people in the world. Everyone's on the
Nepo
train.
babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. It was my anti-recommendation. I was so fucking
Yeah.
when I got done watching that movie.
Snowpiercer.
And it
I'll
was the
watch it.
same guy who did a really something else that was great. Maybe Parasite,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Isn't that's a
which
subtitle.
was a great fucking movie.
That was basically about COVID or that was
Parasite? No.
no. Okay.
Parasite was the movie with the fucking where they were. It was a Korean movie where they were like a rich family, and then there were people like living in their house,
In the walls.
In the walls and
in
shit.
hidden spaces in the
Yeah.
walls.
That happened to
Yeah.
my brother.
Everything happened to your brother, dude.
Yeah. He actually did. Well, I can't say names, but there's one of my brothers, Mysterious Racer X, who at one point had a dude living in the wall, living in
For real?
Yeah. He was
What do
dating.
they call that? They call it
It's all kinds of shit, man.
No, there's a name for it. Like toad. Oh, fuck. Leapfrogging, or yeah, I think it's called leapfrogging, where people will like have a way to get into a house like squatters, but they'll do it when they know someone's not there, and they'll go from one to the other to where they don't get caught. And then but they'll do it like at night when you're asleep, which is that there was a show on like one of those ID or whatever, and it was about people leapfrogging, like real like being real quiet at night and going, is there someone upstairs? And they go up there and there's
Right.
nothing. But then they find out months later there's a hidden room that there's someone has been in their attic or whatever, and then
I saw
just being
some of
really quiet until you go to work. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking creepy.
I think
Watch
this guy probably
Parasite.
just asked Barry, hey, can I live in your wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was unlicensed, but yeah, my bro could be on that show, or he had that.
So how was a guy living in the wall?
He
What
was dating. I mean, he was
Avoid.
Yeah, like I think he was committing multiple crimes. Let's just say, possibly. If he was, I don't know how old he was, but the age of the lady, the daughter. That anyway, but he was living there for a while, and then got kicked out. They found him, and then he was asked to leave, and then he damaged a automobile or some shit. It was like it's like you can't just remove something from your walls and expect it
I
to go
still
away
don't
cool.
understand anything.
Okay, I'm wrong. It's
All
called
in code.
frogging. When someone secretly lives in another person's home without their knowledge, the name
Mhm.
comes from the idea of leapfrog, with the intruder hopping from one place to another place like a frog, whether that be someone's basement, attic, or crawl space.
Yeah,
And there was a show on TV, a documentary show about it, like an episodic show of frogging.
That's weird. I never heard of that. I heard it. It happened to my brother or whatever. But
So
it's like it
I need
makes
to know
sense.
more about what happened to your brother. So
he
your
just
brother's
so-
living in this house.
Yeah, he
and
had like
at
a
the
big
same
place.
time, there's another guy living in the wall of the house. How
Yeah,
did he
like
get in and out?
he's
the
he's
wall?
let in and out by one of the kids. He's like a you know, one of the kids is letting him in.
And then he goes
Oh,
into
It's
the
like a
wall.
teenage, you know, yeah, it's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of rape, you know, kind of scenario or something.
Did you read Romeo and
He's
Juliet? I
dating, he's
feel like
dating an
you did.
underage kid that lives in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, this is a
That's what I
different.
feel like the bigger crime was, you know.
I
But
still don't understand the living in the wall part of it.
well, he was just like hole up there, you know, when supervision wasn't around the house or whatever. He
He'd
would,
come out.
you know, he would come out, but he was, you know, it's just like you know, it's like a pet you're hiding from your parents. Only
Like
this
the
one's
gimp.
probably fucking somebody. Yeah, I don't want to question other people's parenting, but yeesh.
Oh man.
Yeah, this I saw 2 episodes of this, and that's all you need to see to.
If you
creep
have a
out.
big house, it can, I mean, I can see it happening in a big house.
Watch
Yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. You get one best picture, didn't it?
It did win something. I don't know if it got best picture, but it was
did.
it was definitely one worth watching.
Really good. Really, really good. And then I think that's what made me think, oh, then this Snowpiercer sounds kind of cool. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, usually a show where they feed babies to some machinery is something I'd be interested in. But if you don't like it, it's not enough, you know, it's just too much pandering of the kids. I don't know. I've been seeing some where they the theory is they always murder teenagers, or they'll get like, you know, because it's just like a throwaway age or whatever. But if you get them while they're younger or whatever, it's like kind of ruins the movie.
I think what they do, Andy, and then they whoever thinks up these things, is they have to get something that you can fight for, where like anyone who tries to go against you,
Virgin.
oh, so you're for enslaving kids and drinking the adrenochrome in their brain? It's like, what
Yeah.
are you talking? No one's for that. Well, listen, unless you sign my petition. I mean, you have to have something that no one can be like on a straight line, like against, you know. And I think that's why they go for the pedophile, even though none of it can be substantiated. They try and bring this stuff up because who's going to defend someone who's accused of being a pedophile?
Yeah, I know one thing. I'm not going to have the energy to argue with anybody in the fucking heat and shit, and climate change and shit. People are like,
the heat
"Yeah,
death of Earth's last days.
You know them, they're out fucking the kid. You know, no, all right, let's listen.
Okay.
No, I know who's fucking the kid, and it's
Yeah,
probably
what
their
was the kid
coach.
wearing?
It's not. It's not Nancy Pelosi and her husband. It's more likely the youth minister,
Yeah,
church, or your, you know,
that creepy guy who doesn't
brother.
have kids and he's coaching the baseball team.
And it's
Exactly.
like everybody's calling each other pedophiles, and the pedophiles are like, "Ooh, he's on us now."
Yeah.
And slip
Yeah,
back.
they're worried
into-
about George Clooney.
Yeah. I wonder how many people have frogged and what would you call it if you're molesting kids in the house while living in the wall? Frog and dash or something?
Fiddling.
Frog and fiddle.
Fiddling with a PH.
Frog and fiddle.
But that, I mean, you know, like especially if they were like little kids, they wouldn't be able to say anything. But I bet that happens, right? Like a creeper, house creeper. That'd be a good horror movie. But then it would
That
be
actually
like,
is
There's a
the,
monster in
horror
my
movies.
closet. That's how you're fucking crazy.
isn't that basically the premise of is it Candyman?
probably.
They come out of the fucking wall. And that actually did happen in Chicago. I think I heard this story on maybe like one of those true crime podcasts, like My Favorite Murder or something, where they built the projects at Cabrini Green in Chicago pretty shoddily.
Mhm.
And there was too much space in the walls between the apartments, and people could take off their bathroom cabinet and climb in, and
I'll go
they
into
found
the,
some lady murdered and all of her shit gone, and they couldn't figure out how it happened. And then they realized there was like a gang, some gang guys that lived on the other side of the wall, and they were coming through. They would take off their bathroom mirror, cabinet, climb into the wall, knock the other one out, and get into the apartment.
Do
that
they
way.
use a kid, or
I don't think so. I think it
seems
was
like that'd be a natural, like
yeah. And there was like a 911 call that this woman was making about somebody coming out of her bathroom mirror, and everyone just thought she was fucking crazy.
yeah, drink more
And
water,
then,
lady.
and then, then when they got there, she was dead. They couldn't
Probably-
figure out what happened.
Probably drinking leaded water or some shit. Cuckoo. Yeah, that's something.
But you know, that happens in a fucking, you know, Democrat-run city. So that's what you get.
Oh man, yeah, fucking that's the future. The liberal tards. There was remember the movie or what was the thing? It was like the calls coming from inside the house.
yeah.
That was the punchline.
The babysitter one.
Yeah. And I saw that movie, and then that's when maybe I hadn't been as aware of her, but that's when I saw who my brother said was my birth mother, the crazy town whore. She was more than the town whore. She was kind of a county and international whore. She would work the docks.
When pressed into duty.
Yeah, and retarded and from a real fucked up family. But I went to the pizza place. I think it was raining, and I ran from a couple. I mean, it seemed like a long ways, but it's like 40. Everything in Coquille is like 100 yards from one end of it to the other. And but I dashed up, and then I went in the pizza parlor. And then that's when I ran into Teresa, and she knew. I mean, she always remembered me, but for some reason, I hadn't seen her in a while or something. Hadn't paid attention to her, and she was right in my face and talking about my brothers and shit. And that propelled me the rest of the way home, horrified. And then come to find out through legend and everything, she was my birth. Well, that's what my brother said. She was my birth mother. That I was a case of incest in the house, and she was my mother, and my father was also my grandpa. So I think that was the scenario I got. And they were going to eat
Wow,
me
that
for
is
Thanksgiving.
crazy.
Yeah, and
They're gonna
whatever.
eat you for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of my origin
Like
story.
most, kids that are put up for adoption, they usually make it to the 7th birthday, 8th
Delicious.
birthday, and then
Mhm.
feast.
Yeah, they were going to eat my endochrome, suck up my baby adrenaline, and then yeah, and then through this family just found me on the bridge, took me home, and called me Andy
How
Eggenhead.
nice.
Once they removed the fork, and I assumed that the Eggenhead was just
Had
my
they started
response.
to eat?
I don't know what happened over there. Probably food poisoning at our place, but none of that I remembered. And my mom assured me that was wrong. And then years later, I did find an actual birth certificate. But I mean, my gap teeth, I was one of them. It was just their cruelty. It was, I got to give them credit for a couple of,
That's a good one.
I don't think the weed was very, as much as I thought they were on drugs or whatever, it was more hype. I think they wanted to be on more drugs than they were on.
Yeah.
Like
And,
most
so they
people.
probably had a pretty clear mind on how to fuck with me.
It is amazing sometimes when you hear about what other people go through, like the deviousness of older brothers. I mean, some of it is quite. I mean, Andy, you clearly, I'm shocked on a weekly basis on some of the things that your brothers did, and that you had more than one. That was teeing you up all the time. That is just crazy. I mean, I'm the oldest in my
It was
family.
good. I mean, I was thinking like how John was. He had his own battle. The middle child. He had his own battle.
You mean Ron? Ronnie.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
Not only has he said his name, now he said which one he is in the group.
Ronnie.
Identify
Ronnie.
Ron, not John.
But he had it. I mean, he was I don't know. He had no interest in me. Like I would have, like I probably craved attention from him because he was like the cool one. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And he just had. I mean, that was his neglect, as he didn't even want to fucking. He was, embarrassed to be bothered by me. It was like a fan. Hey man, could you sign my basketball? Which I did have a signed basketball with the whole football team. My brother was on it. I was kind of a fan nerd.
Andy, did you ever have like in like no names, please.
Larry.
A relationship with one of the brothers that was kind of on a like a level that like you'd go get ice cream or you do something fun or build a
Oh
model
well, the
together?
one closest to me in age, we'd hang out and shit. I mean, yeah, just somewhere along the line. I think when we were both in high school, I didn't want to. He just kind of bummed me out,
Yeah.
and I don't know how he felt about me, but he was always. I always felt like he was coming at me from, especially in them days, it's like a narc, like because
He was the narc?
He was a born again, and my
Oh.
behavior was scary. I'd look at pornograph, look at pornography,
Roll
drink,
around on the
shit, and go,
posters.
hey man, I'm getting raped in California. Lighten up on me.
I'm
me
not
some-
the bad guy
Cut
here.
me some slack. I took the gig you didn't want.
That's true.
And I was a sinner and shit. So I get, like like I would lose privileges with the car, and it would be because I got ratted out and shit. So doing whatever. Like to get a little, squirrely in the car. I guess go down the hill and spin around and shit and get fucking ratted out by my own people. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
but it's
understand.
probably because they wanted to use the car that was now
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, makes sense, right?
We had no leadership.
Yeah. You could all just work together. You could have really took that couple down.
Well, Dad was a figurehead, in the wheelchair. We could have overthrown him. Like, we're just gonna lock you out of the house.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about it?
Your mom didn't want the job.
No, she couldn't handle it. So then we could have had a family vote, like secession.
Oh, you vote your dad out of the house?
Vote him out. Well, he just needed to be, relieved of leadership.
Yeah.
It's not his thing.
Unfit.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
You got a Tom Wamsgams to
Yeah,
take care of
totally.
Yeah, we had a few of those, I'm sure.
it?
I noticed Shiv from Succession is on in a new movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is it the shit? Tracy's.
it's about a kid, like
The
a
one on
kid in mental
Netflix.
illness or some shit.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Run, rabbit, run.
Run, rabbit, run. Is that your recommendation? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I know she's in that one on
Yeah.
Netflix because I want to see it.
She turns me on.
Yeah, and her being a little crazy, little action and shit.
Yeah. Little chubby,
running with them
little
titties.
nuts. Yeah.
She had them titties, but they didn't have anywhere to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Sarah Snook.
Sarah Snook. And
Let me
she's
see.
English too, so that makes it even better.
Run, rabbit, run, and yeah, I think that's it. It's got to be. I mean, there's not.
It
two of
looks
them.
pretty creepy.
Yeah. I just recognized her like at the last minute. And I didn't catch what it was. So. Yeah, this looks creepy.
Did you see Terrifier, Greg? Did you see
Terrifier.
The
No.
second one,
well, the first one is out. They're re-releasing
Oh,
it in
I see.
theaters right now.
I see clown makeup.
It's I don't mind him. He's kind of he's a wise guy. But it's gore.
He's got good makeup though. That is.
Yeah,
creepy.
I think it's a winning character for sure. And I don't like clowns, so it's hard for me to see a clown as bring him back.
Well, is that good? Is that good? Look, I'm wearing a little hat.
Mhm. Yeah, wow, yeah.
That's that's good, man.
I like the
Uh-huh.
first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
The second one, he's got a little sidekick chick. I don't necessarily remember the second one, and I saw it. I know I saw it. I just remember his sidekick. But the first one, I remember that one scene where he splits that. Anyway, I don't want to ruin it if you got the family and you're going out to the theater to see Terrifier. Bring the kids out. Hey, what's that? I don't know the name of it. Operation Freedom or whatever, the religion or the movie about sex trafficking.
The Sound of Freedom.
It's put out by sex traffickers, but they're buying up all the tickets. want to make it look like it's doing great. So there's all
Wait,
these.
what's going on? I don't
So
know
there's a
what
movie called Sound of Freedom that's
All right.
that
Starring
stars, Jim
Jesus.
Caviezel. Is that his
Yeah,
name?
the guy he introduces himself as the guy who played Jesus, but he's
Yeah,
also
and
an
he's
asshole.
he's a big QAnon guy, and he's
Oh.
an adrenochrome guy, and he plays the character of some guy who used to be in the CIA or
A
something.
fictionalized version of a guy. It's
And
kind
he-
of like
and
a
he-
machine for sex
yeah.
trafficking.
This guy quit, and he runs a operation like underground railroad for children who are being sex trafficked, supposedly, but mostly he just
It's like a
wants money
propaganda
and
film to
attention.
get the people fired up about,
So this is a big right-wing thing. The mainstream media and the left doesn't want this movie to come out because it's going to expose them for being the pedophiles that they all are, so they're trying to squash the movie. And
Bill
but-
Clinton's buying up theaters.
so what's truly happening is that conservative groups and churches are buying up all the tickets, but
but they're accusing liberals of buying up all the tickets.
You're right, and no one's going to the movie.
Yeah.
But-
Another sold out show. Pick
Yeah.
anything you want.
Yeah.
They actually made, I think on their opening day or opening weekend for a couple of days, they were ahead of the Indiana Jones movie in ticket sales, but no
If
one's
they had,
actually at the
if they
movie.
had Terrifier the Clown in that one, that would be cool. Sound of Freedom with the clown splitting.
With a clown.
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown gutting some poor kid. That's what he does, man.
And he doesn't
How about the clown who played Jesus, who's playing the clown who's playing Jesus?
Guy's batshit crazy.
Because the guy who wrote the movie and everything, and it's all about him and shit. It's all like
Terrifier?
no,
No,
the
Sound of
Jesus.
I'm
the
lost.
Sound of, the Sound of Freedom one is the guy wrote a fictionalized version of himself.
I think the
Yeah.
guy's name is Tim Ballard.
Let me see.
He's a douche.
It'd be hilarious if there
It
was.
just seems, I mean, why would you want to exploit the whole instance? Like, if you want to fight this, if this is really a thing, then fight it. Why are you making a movie? It seems almost titillating.
Because that's
pedophiles.
part of it, but it's the same reason
Hero porn.
it's the same reason you make the Passion of the Christ, to get emotional reactions out of people.
Yeah.
Well, like hero porn or something, where you go fantasize about, man, I'm gonna go kick in the Pizza Hut doors, go open up the basement, you fucking motherfuckers. I know what's going on down there.
Let my children go.
There was one that I almost was looking at yesterday. It was a Hacksaw Ridge, where like the guy had to go into war with no gun, and he saved 75 people. And it's I guess he's an English actor, but he does a Southern accent. But it's such an over-the-top Southern accent. I'm gonna go in and take care. It's fucking. The trailer was ridiculous. I thought it was a spoof when I first saw it.
Yeah. Well,
Like
hopefully
Airplane.
I remember there was a few Jesus movies I got dragged to. I forget what one was about a chick who broke her neck, and we went to a drive-in theater to watch that one. It's just stupid. Fucking, like not even a good documentary kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's about
But
the
you went to a
miracle.
movie on a date
No,
with a girl that broke her neck?
no, it was about a chick who broke her neck, and then somehow, I think she drew with her mouth. And
So she's a quadriplegic, and she's also 200 feet tall.
she can use her mouth like a pretty. Well, she paints with her mouth.
Who picked the movie?
It was the
Are you
church.
trying to fuck
the
this
church-
date?
Oh man, the church would get, they would get spotted advertising or whatever. People would come around and go, "Hey man, you want to
You're trying to
drag
gin up sales again.
over your congregation to this thing? It's a uplifting movie about Jesus and shit." And yeah, so we go over and watch them and sit there in the drive-in with my mom and dad watching fucking stupid shit.
Just because you got free tickets?
Well, it was because the church, because
But-
we were church
yeah.
stupid. It's like they're doing now, but they're more sophisticated now. But it was just like, you go around, knock on the, go to the parsonage. That's what they call where the preachers rape the kids. Parsonage, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that where the parson lives, the parsonage, or is that where he works? I don't
Father
know.
Parsons is the guy who was supposed to marry that fucking snowman or something. But
It was Father Brown.
yeah,
Father Brown was the
but
one.
they would go to, it's like the
knock his
strong
hat.
men. They would go to the school, and then they would gain entrance to a church, and then they would grift you there.
Yeah.
But like
but,
church stupid night out. Is
Yeah,
it
there was
always
like, but there's no good Jesus movies. I don't think.
well, I mean,
they try to do a
there's-
couple about
there's
it.
the Ten Commandments.
That's not a
Right.
Jesus movie.
But I
My
mean,
cousin
there's
Vinny-
religious movies.
That would be they should remake the Jesus movie and then have my cousin Vinny as his attorney and get some at the lab. They don't crucify him.
Wait, he gets out of it because
gets
my
out of
cousin
it.
Vinny talks to Pontius Pilate into fucking letting him go.
It has something to do with their
In a
the
very
footprint
in a
they
very
leave.
crucial
Fucking
moment.
Judas.
In a very crucial moment, the lawyer takes his briefcase and drops it on the floor, and the guy turns around really quick.
Got you,
Wow.
bitch.
Got
Well,
you.
now you're combining the Adams
miss.
family. You combined Adams family with the Munsters there.
No,
No, that was
well,
Brady Bunch with
Brady
Jackie
Bunch.
Yeah,
Coogan.
no, but it's,
Jackie Coogan is the
right.
judge.
And
No,
then,
as the
but Fred
plaintiff.
Gwynn
You guys
was
are
the
all
judge,
wrong. It's
and
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn was the judge on My Cousin Vinny. That's
Right.
right, like Adams family. And anyway,
Mm.
we've had that discussion. But I'd fuck Herman Munster first. There's
You could
nobody.
do
you
lot
guys
with
aren't
that
gonna
mouth.
like this. I won't rub your nose in it, but the Brady Bunch episode with the with the court case, it was Jackie Coogan who was the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dude,
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester.
Oh, he was the guy who was.
He was the one who turned his neck when
I
Mike
had
Brady
no
dropped his
idea.
briefcase.
Yeah, he was trying to grift the Bradys.
Yeah, I remember that. I had no idea that was Jackie Coogan.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then the-
Coogan the Coogan law was named after him because he got fucking railroaded by his
Was,
folks.
Oh, as a
All
kid.
his money. He was making a ton of dough as a
Oh.
kid.
oh, I thought this case with the Brady's briefcase was like
The Coogan law. Yeah.
no neck braces in the courtrooms
Yeah.
anymore.
Watch when you're
Oh.
backing out of your spot at the grocery store.
So what did he look? Was he a little like Dennis the Menace looking kid or something?
He was a huge star when he was a kid. Chad, don't you know about this? Were we talking about this
Yeah.
one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie
he,
Coogan made a ton of dough, and his fucking
His parents
didn't
stole
get a
all of
dime.
it. but-
Didn't get a dime of it, and they created something happened later on in life. It didn't fix anything for him.
Probably why Danny Bonaducci has money
Yeah.
because of him.
Well, anyone who
Yeah.
like grew up in movie as an actor, child actor, they all have everything based on what this guy went through.
Look at
This
Marcia
kid killed
mocking
him.
him with her fake neck
Uh-huh.
brace.
Yeah.
It was a real learning moment for the Brady family. But why didn't they just go like this guy? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to revisit the episode. But was he suing on top of what insurance?
No, it was decide whose fault the car accident was.
Carol just didn't want to pay.
Yeah.
Well, there was
It
definitely a
the principle
misogynist.
of the matter.
Mike
Yeah.
should have just
A
went
lot
behind.
of Brady episodes were dealt with principle.
Yeah,
That's right.
Mike should have just went in the back room and blew that judge.
Well, he did.
Well, who says he didn't?
You
Yeah, probably.
can do that when you win.
I don't know who played the judge in that. If I don't remember even a face to the judge, so it must not have been a very memorable character.
Well, you can watch the Brady Bunch and a lot of things. It's a paid subscription service, but it's one I like because it's got stuff that I like on it. It's called Friendly, FRNDLY. It's actually one I pay for, so that's my recommendation.
Oof.
But they've got
Yes.
a lot of old stuff from the 70s, like Kojak and Mannix and Cannon.
Was
You
he
know,
the
well,
wheelchair
Bigfoot.
guy?
Go.
Wasn't Cannon in
Yeah.
a wheelchair? Or no?
No, that's
Wasn't he-
Ironsides.
Ironside.
Ironside.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
But they
my
got
dad's
Petticoat
favorite.
Junction, Green Acres. They run Me TV on there, which I can't get here, which is Memorable Entertainment
Yeah,
TV.
see, that's what I got Me TV.
I love it.
That's where you get your
Like-
consumer cellular commercials for sure.
Yep.
I
So
like
Andy, your dad was a big fan of Ironside, of course, because that
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
was a
solving
crime.
mysteries from a
Solving
wheelchair.
mysteries.
My dad couldn't figure out why the pants and the wash machine would overload
where his Phillips screwdriver went.
it. Yeah, yeah, he was like Ironside, only didn't know figure out any of the mysteries. He left behind a lot of cold cases.
This one's
Get his-
about nail clippers. I can relate to this one.
He'd get as far as like naming, giving a nickname, but he wouldn't ever solve anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, my dad would have been good in politics. Like he like what Trump did.
Uh-huh.
He annihilated the Republicans with nicknames and dismissive things, and my dad would have went, yeah, all right, sniffer and hoot and Zacchaeus. Bam, that's old, Zacchaeus. That's like there's a Christian song about him that he was a tiny little fucker. So it's like, bam, you got to think you got to walk. Did he just biblically call me a short person?
Use the Bible to
What,
insult me.
Yeah. I mean,
Can he do that?
Can you
War
do
Woman
that?
was pretty easy. I mean, I could have done that one, but I think my dad was just teaching me. It's like
Well,
sometimes
sometimes you want to
most
go. You
obvious
don't want to
one.
overthink it.
Right.
If
Yeah.
there is a wart woman,
Yeah.
there's no
Don't
sense in
overlook the
trying to
goiter
call
to
her
call
anything
somebody
else.
fuzzy eyebrows. It's like, what about
Yeah,
the goiter?
hit him with an angle that they wouldn't ever. Eyebrows? What about my goiter and my lymph?
Mhm.
Yeah, I like my eyebrows.
I get compliments on my eyebrows.
Pinch faced. He called this one pinch face. I want to say Pete, but that's not it. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a
Pinch
Pete
face
name. But,
Pete.
well, let's go with pinch face Pete. It had, I don't know. He was
He
always
liked the
pretty-
alliteration, didn't he?
Yeah,
liked
Yeah,
to
he
have
was
the-
always pretty rhythmic. But I was like,
Dad was
he'd
an
say-
artist.
what we do is we'd sell newspapers outside of the mill. I think we were grifting. I think it was our version of grifting that we'd sell extras. But I think we stopped and raided some machines and got extras, and we would sell them.
And is that why you yelled extra?
extras?
Oh, that's where
Yeah.
that came
Thank
from.
you. Good night.
Extra. Hey, Mister, you wanna read the stories about this once a week
Niffa,
paper?
who? Peter the
We-
pinch face.
Yeah,
It's all in here.
so we'd be out at work, the dudes would come out, and I worked at that mill, so I know how it goes. You walk out there, take a breath, go, "Phew, I'm out of the factory," and then it would be like, extra, mister. Hey, the state's governor wants to change some laws. And
Well,
I
you
would
said
sell,
they're gonna make you
couple of
pump your own
headlines.
gas.
but
Read
my
all
dad
about it
would
right
say,
here.
go over and sell one over to the humpback or whatever. I go, all right, here, and they'll look around, find the humpback, and go dell the paper out, as he knew who his customers were, and he would insult each one of them as they made a purchase each day.
So your dad would be like sitting there in the chair, and he'd tell you, "Oh, get over there, across the street, over
Mhm.
by Bill's Corner. There's a guy coming out. It's a pinch face Pete's younger brother. I know he's got a nickel on him."
So yeah, I learned. I guess that was like it's just learning to be cruel.
So you had you
sell
had
papers,
regular
make
news.
fun of people's physical appearance, drive home if it's raining, and splash people on the way home. And then God saw fit to take away my dad's legs, so he couldn't do those things anymore. It was right around that time where God just would look down and go, I can't have him doing this.
I got to put a stop to it. I'm gonna slow him down.
Yeah.
It didn't. So Andy, if you had all these papers, but you didn't have a route, they gave you papers.
Yeah,
to
no,
go-
I was a paper boy. I had several variations. I delivered Fuck, man. I delivered the Oregonian and Journal, which was at the same time, but they were basically, I don't know why Portland had a split, both produced by the same. Anyway, I did the Oregonian and the Journal. I sold the World. The man who sold the World, that was me. The World was the Coos Bay newspaper, and then the Sentinel. I did
Wait,
the Sentinel.
Coos Bay,
Yeah,
and a
Coos Bay.
newspaper that they called the
The
World.
world.
Yeah, the world of math and trucking. Overzealots, religious. But then the Sentinel was the Coquille paper that was once a week, and then I got featured as like the Paperboy to look out for,
Up and comer.
up and coming Paperboy, and I talked about how a lot of shit. I was like, even if I could go back to high school and go, well, I wanted to, like, this was when I was in middle school or whatever, and I wanted to be a Red Devil. I was like, what am I fucking even talking about, man? I want to go to the next level of education. What do you want to, I don't know how they phrase the question. What are you looking forward to in the future or whatever? But I want to be, I basically just wanted to be a Red Devil and be a part
Wait,
of.
were they interviewing you
traditions.
because you won an accolade?
Yeah.
I was, they just had two.
He was the Paperboy to look out for. Was
Yeah,
it
so
like
then you got a
was it
little
like the
article?
Paperboy to the look out for? Do you mean like the Paperboy most likely to not deliver your paper and
Yeah.
then try to
Well-
sell you one later?
Yeah.
No, I was.
Yeah, you got to look out for this guy because
Yeah.
otherwise you won't get your paper. You
Yeah.
got to
Well,
find his ass.
Look
It
out for
also
this
could
guy.
be
He's gonna try to grift you with some shit.
It could also be the way I crossed the roads. So I crossed the roads all dramatic, like I was, me and my brother playing baseball. Like, you'd go, all right, get a little lead when a semi truck would come by and then zip across. So I would.
Oh yeah, so they hit the
Look
air
out for that
brakes and fucking-
Paperboy. He ain't gonna stop. I thrive on the Jake brake noise. That was what fueled my little boy shorts. The trucker winding down. I'm mission complete. Now I can go deliver the paper to that little Zacchaeus or Sniffer. Sniffer always bought a paper. He come out. I mean, that was I think it was. I mean, it was funny because he worked the glue line. And I think when he come out and he did it all the time. He was at my church and it's like you'd think he was a coke head or whatever, but it was just working around chemicals and shit.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I picture him like the scene from Christmas Vacation with the tree sap on the fingers. He's working the glue line, then he buys a paper from you and he tries to read it and it just fucking.
Yeah.
I need another paper, Andrist.
I don't know what he kind of looked like a Ichabod Crane, I would say. Sniffer. Had a real pointy nose. I don't know much about it. The people I would like, it would be fascinating for me to go sit in the basement of my church and listen to those people, because I'm pretty sure I was right. Like Hoot Looney and his weird wife Ina and humpback Earl Rosenoggle, and I'm pretty sure they're all extremely boring and extremely simple.
Yeah,
And
probably extremely
nice,
dead.
and they made good Jello. There's nobody really to kill. Like I would go down and eat stuff during before the potlucks. Like I couldn't sit down in church. I'd floor swim and all that shit, and then I would go down and eat before other people got into the potluck. So I'd go down there, but I can't remember anything that was really joyous about it.
Andy, what makes a good Jello? You said someone
Well, they
made
made
really good Jell-O.
what it was the Rosenogles would make Jello squares. I
Like
still don't know
knockoffs
how
of
it
Jell-O.
happened.
But Jello's only you add water.
So
Yeah,
cut
but
up Jello makes it good.
They either made a little tiny Jellos or they fucking maneuvered it and cut it. But they would have these neat little square stack of Jello, and I would suck those down. I'd do that's probably usually maybe I didn't explore the other desserts because I would hit about 8 or 10 of the Rosenogles Jello squares.
No,
Get all
It was pretty
jacked up
cool
on
to
sugar.
go back now because I would like spike those and then get the church all fucking drunk, and then we'd learn some shit.
I think it'd be hard to spike Jello after it's made.
Well, the way
like
you
Jell-O
do
squares?
these, you have to add pure gelatin to Jello, and then you add a little sugar. But you can't keep adding liquid. You're trying to get the gelatin up so that it actually firms up to make these squares.
And how did these wizards cut them into squares?
Well, when you put enough gelatin in there and then you cool them, then they firm up more than a regular Jello, which is pretty, you can get a spoon through it pretty easy. These are kind of a rubbery texture. You could like jiggle them, they wouldn't
For a
fall apart.
humpback,
Yeah.
Earl made a nice Jello.
Yeah, Jenny does that all the time. You just make the Jello in like a cookie sheet.
Like a,
pan,
yeah.
Like a sheet pan, and then you just slice it, dump it out.
They protected their recipe. They didn't tell anyone.
Well, there you go.
Well, it was before the internet, so people kept that
Yeah.
stuff close to the vest.
Uh-huh. You could add LSD to that mixture.
You could that.
Is Erickson showing his genitals again? Oh no, it's a dog.
No, sorry.
The
Dog's
dog's got to be
genitals.
thriving in this heat, huh?
Yeah, she likes it inside.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember, didn't Birdie like it? Like
She
it in
does.
the heat?
She is a little sunbather. Yeah, she likes
Yeah.
to lay out in the sun. Oh,
Yeah, I'm backing off how nice I've been to my dog a little bit. It's like I'm
You don't think it's
still
gonna
keeping
die?
the spirit of it, but yeah, I don't. She's improved. I'm like, all right. I mean,
right.
now I got a tough love. Like you don't get a handout every time you come into the house now.
Wait, she's doing better, and that's not good.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a long goodbye. But I thought her demise was imminent, and now I'm wondering if she's just going to keep plugging along for a while.
Did you just get bad information, or were you?
No, she's just kind of had a downturn for a week or so. She's kind of stumbly and glassy eyed and shit. I don't know what, but she's just
emulating you.
She has trouble getting up and shit, but it's trying to be patient.
Yeah.
But I'd go out and hit the ball for her and shit, and she likes to do it. So now she's kind of back energy wise to where she was before I thought she was sick. So I still have a dog. I want to, like get people to draw on her and doing tributes to her or whatever, but it's just not her time yet.
You think she was just sick, and when you thought it was the end, it was just
when you got a dog that's
down?
all fucking got lumps and shit,
Yeah.
and old, and has trouble getting upstairs and shit, any kind of downturn. I was just assuming it was over.
Yeah.
But if she makes it to September 11th, it'll be another year for her. And then she could die on September 11th, and then I could kind of add her name to the list of those tributes.
Yeah.
Hey, they're talking about and Riley the dog. I'll just say when they get done with their list. Do people still do that? I don't
Do what?
The 9/11. I'm sure
If
they do.
They don't televise it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know it used to
TV.
be it used to be like a big event, and you'd sit there and I kind of try to listen to all these names or whatever. But yeah, I don't. Even though the whole never forget thing, I think it's kind of played out as far as like a TV event anyway. It should be like every year they just bring it. I was like Doug said in his comedy there's a lot of great footage, or it's horrible footage, but it's still compelling TV. It shouldn't be
yeah.
Like Memorial Day, you get to see war movies and shit. 9/11, you should get to see 9/11 shit for that one day.
Like clips?
Well, movies, watch that Bumpkiss or whatever.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah, Pete Davidson's show.
Pete Davidson.
And Die Hard. It's kind of Die Hard is like it's more of a 9/11 movie than it is a Christmas movie. Sort of. I mean, it has 9/11 like action.
Yeah.
Towers blowing up.
It has 9/11 hasn't had a good movie yet, and it's really.
I think there's a TV movie, wasn't there?
This past 9/11, I watched like all the documentaries I could find, and there was a lot since the last time I had watched anything. I found a bunch of stuff.
Docus, I'm sure there's some great ones, but as far as like a motion picture, like Forrest Gump as a Tom Hanks as a security guard. I mean, I know that there's been a couple, but there just hasn't been anything that was like, that's great. I mean, I think we're ready to watch movies about bombing the Japanese to incineration. We need a cool 9/11 movie.
It's a Nicolas Cage one, isn't there?
Yeah, but Nicolas Cage is yeah, it was. I mean, that one was. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't want to get Erickson riled up.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
That's why
Leave
I
Nick
said
out of
it.
this.
I felt like Nicolas Cage tried to make 9/11 about him in that role. No, I don't know. Yeah, I remember that one. It was like focused on a couple of things. I mean, maybe it's just too big, but they should, like a mini, limited episode kind of thing.
I want a movie where it's only about the people who jumped out of the buildings.
That one dude who went completely upside
falling
down
man.
with the cool, yeah. And
Looks like he's
Well-
walking in the air
Mhm.
while he's.
and he probably just flipped that way. He wasn't making some statement or anything, but
You think he was gonna go out in style?
well,
Somebody
I mean,
will snap my picture while I'm
Yeah,
falling to
I
my
doubt
death.
he
I
had-
could just jump.
come on, Vogue,
I'd make more of an effort to make this be something that people
Yeah.
remember.
hold the
He looks
pose.
at the guy
Swan
next to him.
song.
Check this out, bro.
Watch
They say
this.
you gotta hold a pose for 3 seconds when you're plummeting to your death, or there to be a nice photo. No, you can do it in 1 second if that's a good photographer. We
All
don't
it
see what
takes.
happened second later because it wasn't that cool.
No one knows who that was.
Hmm They suspect it was like a chef or a guy who worked at a restaurant
Really?
Why? Because of the shoes he was wearing?
because of the uniform. There's a
houndstooth pants.
the outfit and the cool way he's posing. Like, oh,
And there was a
Doing-
spatula in his
doing
back
the meatloaf.
pocket.
that's when he got rescued by Christ and stopped the sex trafficking.
I'll
One of the
give you- if you-
documentaries, you could just hear bam,
Yeah,
bam, bam. The firefighters are just like, what the fuck? Like, those are people fucking bam, bam, bam. So you could do a whole documentary just on all the people that jumped and hit.
If
mhm.
you want to look up anything 9/11, don't just type in 911 because that's a TV show that's in multiple seasons. You got to do 9/11.
That's another thing that those fucking Saudis, man, they ruined 911 for us. That was a
there's-
whole other thing. And couldn't you
Wait
wait
a minute. Maybe they made it better. Aren't you supposed to never forget 911 and
But call 911, you say call 911 and then you might find a relative sitting in the front yard grieving. I'm like, no, somebody's breaking in.
If it helps you remember, there's a YouTube channel. Maybe I might have mentioned this before. You are Maker, and it's a bunch of 911 calls. Somebody asked me on the Twitch channel the other day, like, what's the appeal of that? And I was like, violence and death.
Oh,
What's it called? What's the channel called?
You are Maker.
The letter U and
The
the
letter U, letter U, letter R, Maker. And it's like there's a bunch of just 911 calls, and they kind of explain what went on with the 911 calls and stuff. Kind of like I've watched all the murder porn documentaries on regular TV. So
Yeah, you're done. You're
now
exhausted.
now I'm down to just watching 911 calls.
Isn't it a bummer to you're fresh out of murders?
Yeah.
Like all the murders that have happened, you're waiting for something fresh to come out. I know, I've seen that one.
So that's why when Andy's like, no, we'll watch a movie. And I'm like, a dramatization of something? That's boring.
I'm with you.
I like the
Real
911
shit,
call.
dude.
That's fucking right there. And sometimes there's one of them that has all the police cameras that you just
Oh, you
watch.
said that last week. What was that called?
Fuck. I'd have to look. I watched one the other day, I think while we were sitting there waiting for a plane, Chaille, where I watched one where a guy pulled over a kid for speeding, while he was talking to him, he noticed those bullet holes in the back of the car, and was like, "What's going on?" The kid's just talking to him. He's 18 years old. Pretty soon he realized another guy comes over. He's like, "They're looking for that guy." Pretty soon he uncovers it. Pretty soon he pops the trunk. There's a fucking dead guy in the trunk. All of it unfolds on the
Classic.
camera.
Yeah. Is that kid out on the road still? Still driving around? Yeah,
they got him.
Doesn't seem like you'd pull over, you know?
911 calls.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
highlight.
Anyone who's in a high speed chase, you just assume that. Well, of course he's not gonna pull over. He's got a dead body in the back.
Yeah.
Not a warrant for no tailpipe.
He was doing 75 and a 55, smoking weed.
Yeah.
I'm
A
on.
dead guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you just want to get caught. Police Activity is the channel that has a bunch of cameras,
Be cool to
sequence-
watch a show
body
with-
cams.
Yeah.
with missing body cam footage. That'd be like a cops extra at late night, you know. Cops only fans. We'll show you some of the footage too hot to show our captain.
I think I've talked about it before. You guys watched the that live what is it? OP live, On Patrol live.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, you could just sit there it's like on for 4 hours. Yeah, and it was really weird because last time I watched it a couple weeks ago, they were in my hometown, and I'm like, oh, I know that street, and it's like, what am I excited about? This is not good. To be on this show is not good.
A lot of times, the same with that camera one. I get frustrated with the cops with that one though, and I can't watch that one for very long.
The one where they retrace it with
hate the fucking cops. Fuck you, fucking cops. I fucking hate you, and I end up just switching.
Is that the
off
one where they
the-
retrace it with cameras? That show?
No, the
On
body
Patrol.
camera, the Police
body camera.
Activity
Yeah.
body camera, and then that On Patrol,
Mhm.
where it's just they follow the cops.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
get frustrated with the cops on those ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I kind of miss the adrenaline love hate watching, not love, I don't think, but Cops.
Yeah,
You
same,
know,
same
that's-
concept.
You yell at the TV occasionally with the cops, but you don't, and that
Talking
was
about the
like-
show Cops,
Yeah, just there isn't
old school.
that hero porn that they were doing, selling us on the, now they wouldn't put a show like that on there because they got to protect the fucking crimes. Well, no, you got to just it'd be cool if they were like, if they went back in the ones where they didn't show you shit and go, all right, well, here's the other cameras on this shit. Oh, fuck, man. I mean, they had to do a lot of editing for that show before
Oh yeah.
friendly shit. It's like whatever they said about Trump. There's all these tapes of him saying the N-word or whatever that are hidden in it. Like, let's see those cops hot moments that they don't want us to see.
Hot
And
mic.
we've already seen a lot, we already know what they're capable of, but it would be cool to really, catch some of the locker room talk. I mean, it'd be horrifying, but it's what they do.
I don't think you'd be surprised.
No, it'd just be for like hardcore cop haters.
You know, the real winner from Cops, the TV show, was the band Inner Circle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean, that's Bad Boys, the theme. I mean, that was for what? Constantly on multiple channels,
Movies.
for years.
Martin.
Do they get
Lawrence
residuals
movies.
from that, or do you think they got
Oh
like
yeah.
some kind of-
Yeah. They cleaned up big time. I wonder how much they made. Let me look it up. I do know that they went back because they were trying to pinch them because they're a bunch of reggae artists. They're too busy smoking weed.
Don't fuck with the Inner Circle, man. Yeah, that song blew up. I missed like a pop culture reference. And it gave Cops something to fucking feel good about.
Yeah, that's a bad
Little
thing.
slap on the back, fucking
Yeah, it's like a soundtrack to beat people up to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should have stuck it out, man. I was just 3.5 years from getting a degree in law enforcement.
Oh man.
I was
I just pictured Andy like at the police
I
academy
just-
movies.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd have been more Bobcat than Gutenberg.
I was gonna say you seem like a Gutenberg type to me. I
Or
think
maybe
you're
a Tim
leader,
Kazurinsky.
natural leader.
Yeah, I could be Goot.
Yeah.
Definitely pull off the Adrian Zemek.
Zmed?
Was he in the first one?
I don't remember.
Grease he was in the second one. He
Yeah.
played the
He played Gutenberg in
Vinny
the second
Barbarino in the second one.
Mhm.
Well, Bad Boys was released in '87, but I'm not
Cops is
seeing the dollars. It was certified gold, 600,000 copies. Also, it's not telling me what they made.
Kept that shit a secret.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
wonder
sure
if
they
they
were
get
gonna
like
get
a
screwed.
free pass when they get pulled over by the police.
They did.
I smell a little marijuana in here, boys.
He just flashes them.
You might remember us from our song.
We are the inner
Fellas.
circle.
It's like having a Blue Lives Matter decal on your car. Just to fucking give the cops a little false sense that you're one of them. But I could have been 3.5 more years. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
I'd have been a hero if I was a cop. I'd have been a hero.
Yeah.
You could have got shot in the face by being unaware.
On
on
your
the
first
job.
in your first week.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be all right. Fucking signs that say the Memorial Highway in my honor.
The
There
Randy
is a-
Andrist Memorial Highway.
Yeah. Those
It's got a typo.
there is one here, a guy that happened to got shot, and then and he has a stretch of highway.
Yeah.
And every time I go up that highway, I think he should have just let that chick go. I was like, she was like,
Got shot by a
batshit
woman.
crazy and driving weird, and it's like, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna head home tonight.
Didn't see it.
Yeah. Back then, you didn't hear the term Karen as much, but that's what was going on. Was,
Yeah.
a Karen.
Maybe she was defending
careening.
herself. Maybe he was trying to have his way with her and she fucking shot his ass.
Could have been. She might be the hero. Maybe
Yeah.
it should be fucking whatever that crazy bitch who was driving around like
Crazy
that,
Bitch Lane?
highway. Crazy bitch lane. Yeah. And every time I drive that stretch of road, I'm always aware that you shouldn't just walk up on a car, no matter who you are. That's what I took away from it. Also, don't litter. I don't do that anyway, but when I see a cop memorial, that's out of respect. I don't throw any garbage out of the car. I don't want it to be construed as a hate crime.
Well, I can't see how much they made on that, but it peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 7 on the top 40 mainstream.
I wonder what spurred it to, to climb the chart. Like a airing of Cops that was particularly juicy, and people decided, or was it just came out and was a hit, and then the Cop show took
It
it?
was a hit first.
Okay, so it was legit. It's probably sold a ton of downloads.
Well, I mean, this was before downloads, Andy. So, but I mean, they probably had like no fucking money deal to begin with. They probably just got a standard. But then once it got into syndication, that's when they can, negotiate. But I don't know how it works for that for music as opposed to like actors. Once the actors get into a set, I think the second season is when they'll start getting those royalties from syndication and stuff. But they should be making money on all of that. But I'm pretty sure there was some fucking music executives that made sure they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, by
Yeah.
this, like the actors joining the writing strike and everything, I'm reading those stories of how little like some people get in show business. You're like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
they're doing pretty good. They did a couple of seasons on that show or whatever, and then they got to pay their own rent, and they're barely scraping by, and got to pay the union dues, and all that shit, and agents and shit. And they, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with all that, because it's kind of the future of a lot of shit. Because they
Mhm.
they could replace a fucking actor. I mean, they could get you to just like screen your face, do some reaction shit, and they could put you in movies forever and pay you like, here's $25. Let me just scan your face. All right, smile. shake your
25
head.
bucks to scan your face, Andy. That is low. Don't ever
I know.
fall for
That's
that.
why I'm firing my agent.
Never again.
I asked for 25 just for my penis scan. There's no penis recognition software yet.
Someone said they were going to pay you $50 to
Yeah.
put your dick into this machine.
Oh,
and you
I
said
would
yes.
do that.
No, the best part is that after they square
But
the
they
deal,
could
then
do whatever-
Andy gets his wallet out and gives the guy $25. What a bar, I get to pay my-
Okay.
They can do what they want with your dick, though.
I'd
They
have given
have
you
it. They
50.
have your dick, and they can cut it off. They can, put it on up a clown's ass. You can have some dog eat it, and you just have to go, well, I got paid for the one
Got
time
that $25 though.
situation.
You don't think you'd
Uh.
feel bad later on, Andy, if your dick was like the premium clown fucking dick, and you're like, I
Well,
just don't stand by this.
No, I wouldn't be able
The
to.
clown nose.
If I might,
Yeah,
if
I mean the nose on a clown. Dicky
I
the
had 10
clown.
penises to look at, and one of them was mine, I'm not sure I would pick. I mean, if there was obvious flaws with the others, I could probably go, that one ain't mine, that, and I'd probably get it down to, but it's like,
Yeah. I could have
saying-
picked mine out. I could have picked mine out a couple years ago, but I bet I probably wouldn't. I don't know. It's one
yeah,
of
you're
those.
like, well, that one looks a little too old, but I'll go with that one.
Andy, are you saying you wouldn't be able to pick your dick out of a lineup?
I would say that it'd be, I mean, dicks don't really, distinguish themselves a whole lot.
But yours should, right?
Well, I'm always
We
looking
don't
at
look
it
at our
from a
dicks
different
anymore,
angle, too.
Shirley.
I've not ever really compared my dick to other dicks. I don't know how similar or dissimilar it
And if
is.
you've only seen one, you should recognize the one you've only seen.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
guess I kind of,
you'd have to be looking at it from the top.
I
That's
kind
true.
of,
Use any other
look at it.
angle,
Yeah.
it'd be,
Yeah,
I don't know.
got you.
I don't know what's under there.
Yeah.
I like that new.
wait, that's under there?
I looked at
Looking
one.
at it
and-
Oh,
straight
that's where
on.
that is.
What is
My
that?
keys.
I've been looking everywhere for these.
Objects may appear smaller as you get closer. I don't know. I assume I haven't seen a lot of them. Look, man, it was Pride Week. We were all looking at a lot of shit. Pride Month. It was
Yeah,
Pride
man.
Month.
Everybody wanted in the hot tub.
Everybody did, and there was not enough room for everybody, so we had to make do. Some people, I just saw some disgraceful video of a rap star in prison who's making out with a dude.
I saw that same video.
And I
Wait,
was like,
what?
yeah, I don't want to out the fella. He's in prison and it's on the down low. But yeah, it's like you can't
Is this
even.
a rapper?
Yeah, you can't even.
You said
have
down low,
You
it's
can't
a
even make
rapper.
out with Yeah, there's no down low in prison anymore. It's like, fuck. Who's the asshole with a camera?
Well, it's like a security camera.
Yeah, so then
Leaked
somebody's like,
footage.
let's out this rapper for having some down low. It's like, that's my understanding. If I fuck anybody in prison, that's my business.
Yeah.
Is
Don't
it-
make-
Stormies?
Is it a long prison stay or a short
Well,
prison
Hey, he was
stay?
just visiting somebody else.
And when I think of
Just a
about going to
visiting
prison,
room.
I think of
There's a
myself.
snack bar right next to him.
I think of myself going to prison in a whole different rape category than I am now. Now it'd be like, just, like, I don't even think they'd rape me. They'd just like throw me aside, rape something else in front of me.
To make you feel bad? Like if you were
Yeah.
young, we'd
Well,
be doing
just to
this you.
show the old man, like, this could have been you. Yeah, I'm too old and
Now give
broken.
me your jello blocks.
Let alone the scenario where I would be the man in prison. Just
Cut
as
that
well.
Jello into squares for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't always
your
followed the
dick.
law, but I
With your
paid
dick.
attention when I have to.
Oh fuck.
Now it'd be Now it'd be like a stupid surprise to go to like a lifetime achievement of doing shit, going to jail now.
Yeah, you kind
Uh,
of passed that.
I know I don't do it. It's like I guess I don't have enough energy to really crime. And it's like it's like a lot of people come to the realization that their career, it's just like a different world. And it's like, stealing money or shoplifting it, that's just low scale, shit. And there's cameras everywhere. I was like, I don't even have the energy, and I also see where I'd get caught with crimes.
Yeah, the game's changed.
Yeah, the deck is stacked against me.
Mhm.
Was never even I mean, I was an adequate thief before cameras, but what is that really?
Yeah, the landscape. Yeah.
Oh, I broke the honor system.
We're glad you see it, Andy.
Yeah. And now people do it all the time at the self-checkouts. It's a bit of a problem for stores.
I just did that actually. I was in Tucson, and we went to a health food store, and I mean, I'm like everyone. I think I'm like everyone in that I know that there's a technology that when I scan the item and I set it down, it goes beep beep beep, rescan or whatever. I'm assuming that there's technology there that knows if I've got something in my bag that shouldn't be. And when we went through the checkout, this thing came up on the thing that said Gilman and Peppers. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. So I told the guy, hey, that thing on there, that I don't know what that is.
It's an improv
can we
group.
take that off. So he took it off. It was $8.99. And then I get home, and the first thing on top of the bag is Gilman and Peppers. Chili called Gilman and Peppers. I'm like, motherfucker, we had an agreement. You had the technology, and I won't steal. But now the technology doesn't seem to, like, maybe they just did it for a while and then they don't keep up with it. So shame on me, shame on them. I don't know what it is.
That's a thankless gig now, is to be the checker for self-checkers. Like, the best thing that could happen is that they fuck up and you get to step in and do something. But if everybody gets it down,
Yeah.
you're done.
Well, dude, Home Depot now, at least here in Austin, they don't have any checkers. Any.
Usually one in the contractors lane.
Well, the contractors,
during
but,
the
us
daylight hours.
Wimpy ass bitches aren't allowed over there in the contractor aisle. But there's 3 people that stand in the self-checkout area and then help people check out. So it seems like it would just be quicker if they just did it. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they're just standing there. They're all three people standing there. And then there's 4, why not just check it out? Do the checkout for us. What the fuck?
Here's a literal pro tip. Anybody can make a pro account at Home Depot, and then you can go to the other line and you can use the pro parking that's over up front.
Oh man.
Really?
Erickson, you don't even need to buy a pair of boots.
Yeah, what if I don't know what something's called? I'm in the pro.
There's plenty of, listen, we've hired plenty of
your boss
contractors here that know what the fuck
could have
things
sent
are.
you to the store.
Yeah.
They don't fucking know.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll try it out.
Actually, Chad, that is a good tip. If you're going to do anything at the house, it is good to have that pro account, because then you can check stuff out while you're waiting in line. You get credit, and there's a point system. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. I'll be a Home Depot pro, baby.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
This on your pro account? Indeed, I do. I'm parked over in the pro parking. Might as well.
Yeah.
I'll be there next week, Erickson. We'll go there and get you all set up.
I have a handicap permit. Is that as good as pro, or should
That's better, dude. That's in front of the pro parking.
Oh man, especially when it's hot. Like like I'd still roll. I'll take my dog on short little things, and I'll just leave the car running with the air conditioning.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah, man. The planets. Have you seen what's going on with the oceans? It's like, stop recycling. Don't worry about it. We're past the point of return. Even if we stop driving cars.
It's like having a big party in your apartment, and once you realize you're not getting the deposit back.
Right, punch a hole in the walls, man. Yeah, I catch myself recycling and think, oh, what am I thinking? Just bag it up and throw it in the ocean when I go over there next time. Fucking soup.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah. We got about 2 more years of seafood. It might as well have a little plastic in it. I hope I don't know. I'm taking it in stride, man. I'm not in Texas anyway.
Oh,
Worst state to be. That's what I read today. One of the worst states to live.
it is
No, I don't know. It was just
who put that out? California? To take the
Louisiana.
heat off of them?
fucking liberals in California.
Yeah.
Our liberal cucks up here in the Northwest.
Or
Yeah.
Florida? It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
it's consider the source when you ever see anything like that.
Yeah.
Trying to feather a nest somehow, you know.
It is hotter than the devil's tits here in fucking Texas, though. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's fucking brutal all day long, every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's the power shortage? Are you guys getting any rolling
Not any.
blackouts or anything?
Not here.
Nothing? Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of the state. I don't follow the news anymore.
Good
But
for you.
man, it's fucking.
your governor's a bit of a dick.
He's a douche. Yeah,
Yeah.
got the fucking Ironside thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Rolling around
I'm
with
kind of
cocksucker.
steering clear of the
He
news
just,
a little bit, but
He just announced that they're putting like razor wire buoys in the fucking Rio
Right,
Grande
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit like that. With the fucking try to
it's so stupid. You can reintroduce piranhas
Right.
for half of the money. Isn't that warm enough? You just dump a bunch. I mean, piranhas will keep people out.
I don't know. man.
Alligators would keep people out.
Yeah. I'm trying to like not pay attention to the news because it feels like it's just, the stories are moving, but not fast enough or whatever. But then they like today, fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene's
Oh
in
my
Congress
God.
waving around pictures of Hunter Biden boning some whore. It's like, and it's not even
Full frontal
really-
naked pics.
Yeah, it had nothing
He's
to do with.
introducing as evidence. And
And-
they're
and it
like,
has
evidence of what?
Yeah, it's about sex trafficking.
good time.
A dude.
Party,
had
dude.
A party. I mean, the most interesting character in this whole fucking scenario of all of it. All the
Hunter?
Trump, all the Hunter's. He lost some. He's got a cool backstory. I mean, he's the type of guy you'd watch his biopic and you go, I totally understand why he's got some rough edges. He was in a car accident. His brother died, and his
Brother
sister
died. I think his wife died.
Yeah, so he, and then he partied,
Mom.
and then used some political connections to get some good gigs. He's fucking not rubbing that in our face. He's going down water slides with women that he's paid to have sex with. And he does it's like it's ridiculous that they're trying to make this guy.
HBO show is going to be great.
Yeah, I support everything
He's
you
cool.
just said.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a comeback story. And even if he still parties, it's like, it's like every comeback story has a fucking a setback or two that they're trying to destroy. He's like, that's exactly like, he's like mom and apple pie, he's like the broken family member that everybody
He's the
still cares
baseball and
about.
hot dogs and crack addiction.
Yeah, and he has a good time when he lets loose. I feel like he
He's
would
not
be
afraid of a good time.
Yeah, I feel like I would invite him to, I mean, if I knew the date of any parties, I would go, hey, Hunter, man, I don't know
So
what
you're saying
doing.
you think Hunter Biden would be a good wingman?
He'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sure.
he would be, I mean, if anybody in the political world that they talk about, I feel like Hunter Biden would be, fun to hang out with. The Trump kids, those guys, I'd just be like, it'd be like 5 or 10 minutes before you're like, I'm gonna fucking punch that Eric dude in his fucking gums.
And
I
he
think
would
that
steal
happens
all their
everywhere he
drugs.
goes.
Oh yeah, I would. I wouldn't last 2 minutes at Mar-a-Lago because they would sniff me out as one of their own sure when they see one. Where do you keep them documents? No, I'm kidding. Where's your coke, Don?
Oh,
I
shit.
kid rock him into letting me. But who else? I mean, there's nobody. AOC would be, she'd be all right, but she'd get
fun.
Yeah, she'd be fun. But I bet she'd get, I don't know, she'd be fun.
Yeah, I think she'd be all right.
Oh
Al
man,
Gore.
while we were over there, on the day that Stanhope did his show, he got invited to go see RFK Jr.
Oh man.
at Graceland. And he's like, I
Wow.
gotta go, but he goes, me and Chaille will go to the show. He goes, you, Bingo, Jenny, and Tracy go to the show or go to Graceland and see RFK as field correspondents. I fucking got so scared that he was serious that I went and took like a 2-hour nap. I was like, oh fuck no, I can't do this. And then
Just
luckily
to gear up for it.
when I woke up, I was just hoping that he would just change his mind, by the time I woke up, and that's what happened. So
It's a
thankfully.
good thing. I'd hate for Chad to be on here spewing that the China they altered the altered the vaccine. Because
Boy, guys, did I find out a bombshell? Let me tell you.
Well,
I
I didn't I whenever he first said it, I was like, that's not gonna be like a fun event. I go, you might as well just invite me to your sister's graduation. That's gonna suck. So I made it clear that would be horrible, right away. But
how big of a douche you got to be that somebody wouldn't go to
Elvis's house?
just show up at Graceland to see?
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Pillow at Graceland. I think I'll pass.
Stanhope made fantastic points about it being, hilarious, but not. I mean, I couldn't.
But for him,
we'd be trapped. Well,
Yeah.
like for the podcast and stuff, like it'd be a great story, but it would also come at a great cost. We'd be trapped there for a long time. It's not like.
Oh, you don't think for a second I was going, do you?
No, you were supposed to go with Stanhope and me. And
I didn't even do that.
Huh?
I didn't even do that. He left and went over and just avoided working on his set. Is
Yeah.
all he did.
Well, clearly.
Here, I'll show you. This is
Did
what
you
it
meet
works.
Tulsa? Is that
Who?
her name?
Tulsi
Tulsi.
Gabbard.
No, we didn't do anything.
We didn't go to any of that stuff.
Do you
We
have-
saw we did see the dude, God dang, I forgot his name now. The musician guy that was
Martin
pretty cool.
Luther King?
Daryl
Daryl
Davis.
Gerald
performed
Davis.
at the show at the Truth Fest.
Daryl Davis is like a dude who's a musician, actor, does different things, but one of the things he did a documentary about him. He met with several like Klan members and basically just confronted them with logic from what I've seen. I haven't seen the
Oh, I think I know
documentary or
you.
anything.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And like was like, I'm a black dude. Why do you hate me? Explain it to me, and kind of confronted them and basically converted a whole bunch of racists where they're like, I mean, I guess you're pretty cool, dude. I guess I'm not a racist. And they, got out of the Ku Klux Klan.
And he's a
Membership's
pretty
down in
good,
the military,
musician.
too.
And he's the jamming musician. So we saw him play music. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you go to where-
he did a move, Chad. Remember this? He did a
Yes.
move where he was clearly there, like he popped in, and although he was scheduled to be there, he wasn't playing with his band. He was playing with some dudes that were the guitarist was kind of a pudgy, nerdy looking dude who was reading sheet music to play jazz.
The
Right?
Freedom
And
Festers.
free dumpsters. Isn't that what you call them, Chad?
Free dumpsters.
So Daryl Davis goes up there and he's doing fucking Jerry Lee Lewis and all standards, right? And he goes to play and he's singing and playing keyboards. And the guitarist guy, he's not really, this isn't really his music and it's not charted for him. So he's kind of just having to wing it. And they go into Chuck Berry. What was the song, Chad?
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good. And you know that lick in Johnny Be Good. 2 times he threw it to the guitarist and the guy just kind of butchered it. And we're like, and
it wasn't Michael J. Fox, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, but this guy played like it was. And Daryl looks over at that guy and goes, "I'm giving it to you again." Gives him the nod. And the guy starts to do it. And Daryl goes over there and he's like standing behind the dude as he's trying, and he's just butchering it. And he basically stuck his hands underneath the guy's arms and then nailed the lead, playing it with a grown man in front of him. And it was fucking wow. All right. This is the best thing at Freedom Fest right now. Nothing's gonna top this.
How emasculating.
Oh my God, totally.
Yeah, that guy just had to stand there like this.
Here's Daryl Davis.
Yeah, there he is.
Which one is he?
Well,
The cool one.
yeah.
I'll ask it again.
The guy who looks like he could play Johnny Be Good.
That's a pretty uppity looking hat.
I think he's the Pope.
Yeah. Who's he? Why don't you go back
That's,
to the
that's the
Catholic
guy
Church
from
with
Hootie and the
that?
Blowfish and Pope John Paul.
And the Blowfish.
Hootie
Name
and the
one
Blackfish.
Yeah, there you can't name a Blowfish. It's Darius Rucker and then who?
And his band.
That is band. But that's
Like,
not-
Daryl Davis had a movie called Accidental Courtesy.
and that's
That
about
was the
converting.
documentary.
Yeah.
Converting the
That's about his.
yeah.
When you look at somebody like that in the Klan with that fucking dumb outfit on, and you got to realize that that's part of the allure. You know, like they just want to dress up in satiny fucking dumb outfits. You know, like, oh, you just want to look like a wizard. You just want to dress up like a wizard. You don't
Seems
have
like
to
it'd be hot.
be racist. Oh yeah, I would. It's not my thing, but nobody puts that on unless they want to. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well, I would imagine 90% of the time is because their daddy did it.
Yeah.
So, I
Probably.
mean, it's pretty easy to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's I wonder if they I mean it seems like it would like the old traditional KKK, they must lose people to other hate groups now. It's like they're not hateful, they're not shitty enough of a group and not aggressive enough, so they're losing them to like Proud
they're-
Boys and shit.
yeah, they're like the MySpace of
Right?
hate
Yeah,
groups,
yeah. I
you
wonder
know?
if they're feeling that pinch, like they're
liberal.
they're the VFW Hall of Hate now.
Yeah,
The fucking dilapidated.
talking about the good old times.
Yeah. Well, we used to drag people behind our cars. Oh, we just burn them out, man.
Yeah, sitting there with Papa John.
Oh,
sitting next to you, having a beer.
Racism, the country star Jason Aldean's
Oh yeah,
hometown song, man. I listened to it today, and I wanted to go fight people in my town.
I wanted to fight him when I heard that.
Yeah,
song.
he's
That is a fucking garbage fucking song.
I would say that my experience is in my small town. If you want to, you want to beat the shit out of some people, drive there. They won't stick together. They'll fucking run off. But it's I was thinking of my grandpa used to play, or for a while played music at the circus. And I just saw a thing about this circus and Jack Dempsey, the boxer. And
Yeah.
my grandpa's photo album had pictures of Jack Dempsey, and I couldn't piece
Wow.
it together until recently, until I read that article. But they would take Dempsey around, and he would just go around and fight if you could last 3 rounds with him, you would win whatever it was. And nobody ever did, because they would, if somebody could last to the second round, they would start cheating time. And if you made it
That's
to the
called the
third
knockout
round,
tour.
yeah. It says like that's what people in small town they go, oh, I could probably get up there and give that boy I'm a big old hobscallion of a man. I'll go out there and throw down, and then somebody who really knows how to fucking do it just dots him a few times and puts him out. That's what a great scam. I wish they still did that. Tough dude just shows up at a bar on Saturday and fights people, all comers for $100 prize. You should be able to do that legally. Set it up in the parking lot. Just fucking get your dude like Clint Eastwood in. You can get an ape.
Anyways,
get an
way but
ape.
lose.
Yeah, get the ape out of storage. We're traveling around fighting people again.
Grab your monkey and let's go.
Maybe they just need to remake movies like that so people get more interested in the throwdown. But that's what I thought of when I heard that song. Is you know, it's like all these small town dudes who beat their wives and shit. It's like that doesn't make you tough and threatening people with fucking shooting them and shit.
It's just, you know, that like it's just so hacky, and
Yeah.
it's right-wing virtue signaling, you know, just, you know, complimenting, and, you know, oh, small towns are, you know, oh, that's the best life in a small town. And it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You're just
It's
trying to
a-
make these people feel better about their shitty choices.
It's a, I mean, it's a next level of that patriotism kind of
Mhm.
shit, you know. But
Yeah,
that
this is
dude who did that
Toby-
dude who did a rap for Marjorie Taylor.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
like,
that
holy
guy.
shit, are you fucking kidding? It's
Well,
like,
the thing is that you know, you realize that you don't have to be talented to make a lot of money in that
mhm,
group. You know, you
yeah.
can, if you can get into that,
What
you know,
rhymes with three toe? Three toe. I mean, that's what he should have been challenging himself as an artist, but I don't think that was even in there. It's like the fucking celebrity shit, but yeah, that it was like listening to a John Cougar song where John Cougar's inciting violence. It was like drive up to the Hasty Freeze and beat the fuck out of them, ask the Mexicans to leave because this is my country.
yeah.
I guess he's just prouder of the country than I am. And he was the dude who was at the he was on stage in the Vegas
Yeah.
shooting. So
Mhm.
but yeah, I saw his call out and everything. But the song
It's
I can see
terrible.
why it's so it's just a fucking hacky
It's
some beat
poser.
somewhere.
It's like poser 80s rock, which is
Mhm.
what country, you know, modern country
That
music
new
is.
country. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking,
Unlistenable.
yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna
I'll
listen.
take you guys' word for
But Chad would be one of those guys you go to a small town and go, this tree will fall easy or whatever, and then you get your fucking, you know, you're looking at your fucking damaged
skull
face
shaking.
in the car on the way home. Going,
I got a few good ones in, right?
yeah.
And
You never lifted your arm.
uh-huh.
The theory failed there. You
Hey
big
guys,
boys.
I gotta get moving,
Yeah,
man. I got
let's
a
get outta
dinner
here.
date.
All right.
So
Oh, good for you.
He's fighting Jack Dempsey.
Yeah.
yeah, knockout tour.
All right. Well, you guys got any shit you want to hit on the way out? What's going on? What are you into?
I watched the Wilt Chamberlain thing. That was pretty good. Goliath
that?
on the HBO.
HBO, Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Know nothing about it.
The whole thing that about Wilt Chamberlain was like he come out with that book and he said how many women he fucked,
Yeah.
and then that kind of became sort of a embarrassing legacy of shit. And he even admitted he probably added a zero to that.
Oh wow.
So he could have just said I fucked a lot of bitches or made love to a lot of ladies, and that would have been all right. But they're really, yeah, it was just kind of a slow moving three-parter on Wilt Chamberlain.
Like Wilt.
It's kind of like the guy from Papa John's. It's like, hey dude, what, you don't have to go tell you fucking all these
Wilt's a
big
legend,
names.
though,
I
man.
mean, and
Why
he
do
was
you
a
need to-
legend. Yeah.
You're a legend amongst legends.
Besides
You
not
guys
winning,
already know you're getting all the tail.
besides not winning a stack of championships, I think he won 2, and had some close calls or whatever. But he had a pretty fucking cool, grand life, being a 7-footer
did.
and being in movies, and even if he only fucked, well, he said 20,000. If he fucked 1,800, that's a lot.
That's not even close to 20,000.
I know 6 probably not.
I'm
Right.
sticking with 20,000. I'm gonna believe it whether he
Well,
Yeah.
but
bunks it in.
nothing is served by writing that number down and in a book.
Right.
becomes a hero to
Well, I
middle
think it was
school
already
boys
one.
all over
Right. And then there's somebody else is, who's going to break that record. And then it's like, it's
A
like,
guy who can write another zero.
right. And Wilt didn't have to operate in the AIDS era. So that I think he would have had
Yeah.
lesser
Yeah,
numbers.
Magic was on his way, but
Yeah.
Actually,
he
he
got
did have some
benched.
AIDS overlap. So he probably did still party around the scene a little bit, but I'll bet that curbed his numbers.
all right.
Thanks, Magic.
Well, I have one that you guys should probably listen to this one before we do our Succession episode, because you guys will dig it, I think. Chaille, you might know about it because I got this recommendation the other day from Stanhope. This one is an Audible original. It's only on Audible. It is a podcast called Bitter Blood, and it is about the Murdoch family, Rupert
okay.
Murdoch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
It is let me see here. I'm trying to see how many episodes. I believe it's 8 episodes.
Oh, I like that.
About 40 minutes or so a piece.
Nice.
And it really gives you, especially if, just having done Succession and stuff, you really see the parallels and the differences, especially the differences, but some of the parallels, but a lot of differences. Just because I know it's just loosely based, on that. But the real life shit is so much darker than the drama.
Sucks, man.
And to know, especially listening to you guys talk about the news and stuff, and then having just finished this yesterday or this morning, I think I finished it, or yesterday, it is like how much these guys have manipulated the media for so long.
They are the media.
And oh man, it's the way they work it is just sickening. That one's Kasem versus Kasem. This one is Bitter Blood, Murdoch versus Murdoch.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a Bitter Blood series. I didn't know that.
Nice.
This one's Bitter Blood, Murdoch versus Murdoch.
All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
You guys will definitely like it.
Cool. All right, Chaille, you got
and it's narrated by Alan Ruck, the dude who plays Connor.
Yeah.
Connor, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Cameron.
Yeah.
And I saw him in some like an 80s movie. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah,
but it was
Ferris Bueller's Day
Ferris
Off.
Bueller's
was
Day
it?
Off, dude.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Oh shit.
I'm not watching. I'm watching. It's a guilty pleasure. I started watching clips on YouTube of Suits, USA Today, or not USA Today, USA Network, and there's 8 seasons. You just turn
the show Suits.
Suits, yeah, and it's like now I watch Suits at night, and then in the morning when I'm making breakfast, I watch Legal Eagle, which is a lawyer who basically breaks down how bullshit or how real Suits is. So it's a great companion. It's a yin and the yang. It's great.
Yeah.
I watch it at night and I feel bad, and then in the morning I feel good. I'm going, these guys are full of
Fuck
shit.
those
Look,
guys,
there's
man.
He'd be disbarred 3 times already.
Yeah, that's fucking great. All right, well, I haven't been watching anything because we built a truck. So
Future truck.
yeah,
Way of the future.
It is.
that's it. There it is.
Well, those guys built it. You were actually building a car.
These guys are fucking sitting around doing jack shit.
Yeah, it looks like break time.
Yeah, man.
What is this, Laverne
You were
and
down on the
Shirley?
first floor,
That's right. I was doing shit, man.
down on the dock.
Yeah.
Soaking the babies for their endochrome extractions.
Yeah, I take baby deliveries.
Someday.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being out there, man. It's another fun one. What was this? 225, I think.
225.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. Wow.
Barely legal.
And I'll be out there next week, Erickson.
I love it. Excellent. So thanks for being out there, everybody. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend and join our Patreon if you're not already a part of it. Issues with Andy on patreon.com. And it's just $5 a month, and you get some extra special fun stuff over there. And we'd love it if you joined us there. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back here next week, and we'll do it again. We'll see how Andy can bring up Brian Adams for another week in a row.
Organically.
I bet he can.
Organically.
I'm sure he can do it.
I won't be
So we'd love to have you back. We'd love to see you then. See you.